What is going on, guys? It is your boy Dylan the Villain once again, coming back at you with some more Total Extreme Wrestling videos. It is Saturday, week 2 of July, 1997. We are in front of 14,000 in the North Charleston Coliseum. And it is time for some Shotgun Saturday Night. In like typical fashion, we're going to go ahead and start the pre-show, which got a 50. Not bad at all. I don't know why this was a part of the storyline, but it wasn't supposed to be, but it is. I guess it's because it has Scotty 2 Hotty and Grandmaster Sexy. But the Old School Express defeat Too Cool in our pre-show matchup when Chris Candido pinned Scotty 2 Hotty with a blonde bombshell. Steve Corino with a 34, Chris Candido with a 48, Scotty 2 Hotty with a 39, and Grandmaster Sexy with a 51. Nelson Quality gave the match a boost, and Chris Candido, excuse me, penalized due to the effects of going through some personal issues. We are going to go ahead and start the show. And we go ahead and start the show. And we see these four men in Shane McMahon's office. As we know, Vince McMahon had the week off. He's been looking over number one contendership rankings and who he believes should earn a title shot against Bret Hart at the fully loaded pay-per-view. And Shane McMahon has these four men in his office, and he goes, I'm sure y'all are wondering why y'all are here. He goes, I've recently talked to my dad. And he said that y'all four men are definitely in the top running for a World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight title shot against Bret Hart. And all four men look at each other, and they're kind of like scoping out the competition. And Owen goes, well, out of everybody here, I think I'm the only one, besides me and Kurt, who really can stand up to Bret and have an opportunity of giving Bret one hell of a match. And Davey Boy goes, Owen, confident as always, I like that. But you're forgetting that I'm a part of the Hart clan too, and me and Bret have some wars. Big Show's just standing there quietly. And Owen goes, yeah, well, me personally, I like, he's going on to his personal thing and talking about how he really would like to be named number one contender and get a match against Bret Hart, along with the other three men, I'm sure. He mentions that Big Show already had his opportunity, so he doesn't know why he's here. And Big Show's kind of getting a little bit aggravated, but he still doesn't say anything. Then Shane interrupts him and goes, well, that brings me. I'm glad that you mentioned that because y'all four will compete in an elimination-style matchup tonight. And Owen's just like, what? He's just like, oh yeah? You know what? And Shane's just like, the order that y'all are eliminated in, that is where y'all would fall into the rankings. With the winner being ranked higher than the other three men. Monday night, on Monday Night Raw, Dad will name who he believes is the number one contender. But he has to figure out the rankings. So y'all four will compete tonight. And the winner of the match will be ranked higher than the other three men. So, good luck tonight. And Owen and Davey shake hands, and Kurt's just like, well, good luck, Owen. And Owen, he shakes Owen's hand. Big Show already walked out, and the other three men kind of stand there, and they, Davey's doesn't really care for Kurt, but, they all kind of just, yeah, okay, yeah. So we're going to move on to the next segment. Main event tonight is a four-way elimination match, with the winner being ranked higher than the other three men, with the winner definitely most likely becoming number one contender from what Shane McMahon's saying. He's going to have a very high pull to be named number one contender, I should say. We're going to move on to the next segment. And it is our opening contest, and a bout that had good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Eddie Guerrero defeats Ultimo Dragon in 12:49 by pinfall with a frog splash. The match got a 78, not bad. Eddie with a 75 and Ultimo with a 79. The friend or foe storyline advances. Announcing and color commentary gave the match a boost. Eddie Guerrero then grabs a mic after the match. And he says, Ray, he goes, I'm sure you and these fans here in the arena are highly confused about my actions last week. He goes, but I want to assure you that I'm definitely not your friend, Ray. I'm definitely not your friend. As a matter of fact, you can count me down as probably your biggest rival of all time. You see, Ray, I'm not going to let somebody walk in here out of a bingo hall just because he has some manager who wears a nice suit come in here and beat you for that championship. Oh no, Ray. Oh no. If anybody's going to beat you for that championship, amigo, it's going to be me, Eddie Guerrero. Because you see, and all of a sudden, Rob Van Dam's music hits. And out come Rob Van Dam and Jim Cornette. And Jim Cornette goes, now wait just a second here. Wait just a second. He goes, the last time I checked, you didn't beat anybody noteworthy of placing you as the number one contender. My client, Rob Van Dam, has ran through the competition to be number one contender for Rey Mysterio's light heavyweight championship. The last time I checked, you were away for a while because you want to attack WWE officials and get suspended. Well, my client's here day in, day out, riding the roads, putting on 5-star matches better than anybody. You claim that he's from a bingo hall. Well, fella, he left that bingo hall for greener pastures to show that not only is he the whole fucking show here, but all around the world. And the millions of fans watching at home, and the thousands in the arena, and the millions watching at home. So if you think that you're going to get a World Wrestling Federation light heavyweight championship matchup before my client, well, buddy, or like what you like to say, Omega, you must be dreaming, because my client, Rob Van Dam, is the hottest thing in professional wrestling today. And nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to outperform or outshow. As a matter of fact, you're out there performing his finishing move and stealing his finishing move. And Eddie Guerrero's kind of getting, he kind of laughs at it, you know. He's like, oh yeah. He goes, I tell you what, why don't we have ourselves a little matchup on Monday Night Raw? And let's say the winner of that matchup will get to go on and face one Rey Mysterio Jr. at the fully loaded pay-per-view for his light heavyweight championship. What do you say to that, amigo? And Eddie Guerrero, he starts laughing. He goes, it's amigo, Holmes. And you know what? Yeah, you got yourself a deal. You got yourself a deal. I'll take your challenge on. And not only will I beat your client, but after I get done, I'm going to beat you too. And Jim Cornette, he laughs. You know, he shakes his head. He's like, we'll see you there. And then him and Rob Van Dam walk off. So Monday Night Raw, it will be Eddie Guerrero versus Rob Van Dam, which is on free TV, which these two in real life put on some banger of a matches. With the winner moving to the fully loaded pay-per-view against Rey Mysterio Jr., Eddie Guerrero says, if anybody's going to beat you for that title, Rey, I'm going to make damn sure it's going to be me. Eddie Guerrero is back. He has been putting on some good matches, and he is back, and he is wanting a shot. But he has to get through Rob Van Dam. Will he get through Rob Van Dam? We will find out on Monday night. We go to commercial and we come back, and it is the Road Warriors taking on the Pit Bulls, and of course the Road Warriors win when he pins Pitbull number 2, when Animal pins Pitbull number 2. Hawk with a 77, not bad. Animal with a 70, and the Pit Bulls with a 48 and a 45. The Road Warriors showing excellent tag team chemistry. They also have the tag team specialist bonus, along with the Pit Bulls. Announcing color commentary gave the match a boost. The match got a 58. I mean, could have did better. But, you know, I wasn't expecting anything higher than a 60. But, yeah, could have did a little bit better. We're going to move on to the next segment. And Sid and Vader are waiting in the parking lot for Dwayne Gill. And Dwayne Gill kind of tries to sneak by. You know, he's already there. And he kind of tries to sneak by to get into where the dressing room is. And all of a sudden, he hits a mop, falls over, and Vader and Sid turn over. And then they start brawling with Dwayne Gill. And Vader goes to pin Dwayne Gill, and Sid pulls him off of him and goes, "Nuh-uh, no way. No way." And then they start brawling, and we have a three-way dance for the 24/7 Hardcore title. An exceptional match, Dwayne Gill defeats both of them when Dwayne Gill pins Psycho Sid after hitting Psycho Sid in the head with a chair. Dwayne Gill makes defense number 1 of the WWF 24/7 Hardcore title. Dwayne Gill with the 88, Sid with a 92, and Vader with a 89. The segment lost heat. It got an 81, and lack of psychology shown, which drifted between the matchup. We're going to move on to the next segment. Dwayne Gill pins Psycho Sid after Sid chokeslams Vader, and Sid's going to turn his attention to Dwayne Gill, and Dwayne Gill hits him in the head with a chair. A hard, stiff hit to the head with a steel chair, knocks him out cold, pins him. Dwayne Gill pins him and runs off. We move on to the next segment. Dwayne Gill successfully defends the WWF 24/7 Hardcore title. We go to commercial and we come back. And we see Shane McMahon sitting in his office. And Chris Jericho runs in there. He doesn't even knock. He just walks in the office, and Shane McMahon kind of jumps up and he's like, "What the hell?" And Jericho's just like, "What the hell is this that I hear that you're giving Stone Cold Steve Austin and me, that you booked Stone Cold Steve Austin and me on Monday Night Raw in a steel cage?" And Shane McMahon goes, "Well, I mean, I didn't book it. I mean, you know, Dad kind of booked it to, you know, kind of get out the ranking system and everything like that. I mean, y'all are pretty much even. Y'all are 1-1. And Chris Jericho goes, "No, we are not 1-1. It is, the record is 1-0. I pinned Austin. I beat Austin. I beat him in the middle of the ring, fair and square, 1, 2, 3. He's never pinned me. He's never beat me. I choose to walk out of the match, and I chose to walk out of that match. I did not lose. I merely could not compete anymore because," and Jericho's looking, he's like, "because I chipped the nail." And Shane goes, "Oh, is that right? You chipped the nail?" And Jericho's just like, "Yes, you know how it is." And then Shane's just like, "Well, Jericho, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, your lawyer sent over the contract. They looked over it. And apparently you signed it. And Steve Austin signed it. He's ready to compete. And if you back out of it, I mean, you already signed your WWE World Wrestling Federation contract. If you no-show, then we have the right to sue you. And Jericho goes, you will be hearing from my lawyers. You will be hearing from my lawyers. You will be hearing from my lawyers. As he slowly walks out of the thing. And he shuts the door. So Chris Jericho telling Shane McMahon, what the hell? Shane McMahon saying, hey, no, I didn't book that match. Dad booked that match. And there's going to be nowhere to run, nowhere to hide in that steel cage match. And if Chris Jericho doesn't show up, there's going to be some legal repercussions to it. Steve Austin already signed it. He's ready to go. Shane McMahon sent the documents to the lawyers, and apparently Chris Jericho already signed it. But we are going to see. We are hyping up that big match at Monday Night Raw in a steel cage. That is probably going to be the main event, if I'm going to be honest with you. But we are going to move on to the next segment, which is another promo. We go commercial, and we come back. Boy, we love going to commercials. And we see Triple H. After that segment, we cut to the back, and we see Triple H. And he's there with Michael Cole. And Michael Cole goes, Hunter, I'm sure you've seen Monday Night Raw. And the message that Shawn Michaels sent to you, how are you wanting to respond? Shawn Michaels basically saying that if you want to go toe-to-toe with him, he's ready to go toe-to-toe. And Triple H laughs. And he goes, let me tell you something, Michael. I know that you really don't keep up with everything backstage and the news backstage and everything. You just come out here in your fancy little suit and tie and you hold your stupid little microphone in front of my face asking me these ridiculous questions, but you really don't understand anything or have a clue what's going on. Because you see, Wednesday night, Shawn Michaels end up breaking his foot at a house show. So Shawn Michaels is going to be out for a little while, which is typical because that's what Shawn does. Shawn comes up with every little excuse, every little reason why he can't compete, why he can't be here tonight. Because the last I heard, we were supposed to have a tag team matchup tonight. We were supposed to have a tag team match tonight, and that was actually penciled in on the card, but he ended up breaking his foot, so now he can't compete. Now he won't be able to compete at the pay-per-view, and who knows how long Shawn's going to be out for with his broken foot. Even if he did break the foot, I think he's coming up with excuses like he always does. Just like after the Royal Rumble, how he came up with this excuse so he didn't have to drop the belt to somebody like The Rock at WrestleMania. Or he didn't want to return the favor for Bret Hart. But you know who was here? Me. And now because since he broke his foot, they had to give me a replacement matchup against this peon named Jeff Jarrett just because he won a couple of matches. Now he's the number one contender for my Intercontinental Championship. What a world we're going to live in when I go on to SummerSlam and not only walk in as Intercontinental Champion, but walk out as the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Champion. So Shawn Michaels says he wants to go. Well, I would like to see him step in a ring with me, because I am the game and I am that damn good, and it's my time. Segment got 100. We're going to move on to that matchup. In an exceptional match, of course, Triple H defeats Jeff Jarrett in 1303 by pinfall with the pedigree defense. He makes defense number 8 of the WWF Intercontinental Championship. I'm pretty sure I might have to, I might write it down and remember, but I think Triple H is going on day like 300 as Intercontinental Champion. He's almost been Intercontinental Champion for a whole year, in game, of course. In real life, too. We've been doing the save for almost a year now. Over a year now. And he's been champion since the beginning of the save. The match got a 79, sadly. Triple H with a 94, and Jeff Jarrett almost getting there with an 80. He's almost where I want him to be. I want him to be about the low 80s. He's slowly getting there, so hopefully he can start gaining some momentum and some more pop here. But Triple H wins. And Triple H is celebrating. All of a sudden, HBK's music hits. And he comes on the ramp, and he's wearing a boot on his foot. But he doesn't have crutches. And he's wearing a boot on his foot. And he comes out, and he's clapping for Triple H, sarcastically clapping. And Triple H is standing there. And he lays the Intercontinental title down. And he's telling Shawn Michaels to come on. And Shawn Michaels just nods his head and goes like he hits his wrist and says, just give it time. Just give it time. He'll, just give it time. You want to go one-on-one with Shawn Michaels. Just give it time. We're going to go behind the scenes here. I apologize, guys. I got heartburn all of a sudden for some reason. We're going to go behind the scenes. Shawn Michaels broke his foot at a house show. And he can appear in angles, obviously, as you can see. He can appear in angles, but he is hurt. We are probably going to try to do surgery and fix his foot. He literally got hurt the day before this, and on Friday night at the house show. And we are going to try to repair his foot and try to cut the time down on how long he's going to be out. Hopefully he can make the pay-per-view. We will have to find out more on Monday Night Raw. Hopefully we can get some more answers on Monday Night Raw. But as of now, he is hurt, and he is expected to be out for at least 2 to 3 months. So hopefully we can cut that time down and get him back before the pay-per-view. But we are going to go ahead and move to the next segment of the night, which is the main event. In an exceptional match, I was going to say who the order of elimination. That is correct. That is the order that I wanted it to go in. I'm glad the game did that, because I wasn't able to pick the order of elimination. I was only able to pick this is who I want to win, and this is who I want to lose. And it did it right. But Kurt Angle wins after defeating Owen Hart, Big Show, and Davey Boy Smith in an elimination matchup in 9:53. Yep. The order of elimination is Big Show. They all teamed up on Big Show. Got Big Show out, being the big threat. Then it was Davey Boy. They had a 3-way between these technical guys, and then Davey Boy. And then it became down to Owen and Kurt. And Kurt ended up sneaking a quick pinfall victory. It was supposed to be a quick pinfall victory over Owen. They end up going toe-to-toe. And he ended up catching Owen and pinning him. Owen, Kurt, and Davey Boy with a 93, and Big Show with a 95. Not bad. Davey, obviously this is based on popularity, not in-ring skills. A lot of the ratings have to do with how popular somebody is. So, in this, the storyline advances. This segment got a 91, match got a 91, but Kurt Angle wins, and he celebrates, and Owen is not happy whatsoever. He is not pleased about this at all. He then walks to the back. Kurt tries to shake his hand, and he isn't having it. He ends up walking to the back as Kurt Angle celebrates in the ring. We finished the show, and the show got a 93. We increased our popularity in 45 regions, and the reason for that is because we had enough money to create our own broadcaster. We have been making some money, boy, and we have our own broadcaster, and we put Shotgun Saturday Night back on TV. Before it was an event, we lost our TV deal for it. They did not want to resign for it, so we had to basically put it on pay-per-view every week. It was an event, but now we have it back on TV, and we got a good TV deal. We made our own broadcaster. In America, let's see, America, Canada, Mexico, Japan, England, and Europe, I believe, are the regions that we have everywhere, but India and Australia is where we show Shotgun Saturday Night now. But it's not anything big. It's all medium. But we had enough money for it, so I went ahead and got it. We're going to go ahead and finish the show. Psychosis. He works for WCW, and in the past, he worked for Promo Azteca. We have some decisions here. Scott Hall on TV helped promote. He did an excellent job talking about how great it is to work for the WCW. Let's see here. Nothing. Let's go. Yes, we changed our developmental to NXT. I took some logos from another mod and moved it all over here. So Dan Severn and Brian Lee looking to be the feud of them. We have Dan Severn and Brian Lee in developmental to help interest in the next few months. Apparently, the Tim Vace's current plans of these two stars to begin planting seeds for a future storyline on the next show. We also put NXT on our broadcasting deal, so hopefully these guys will have some more momentum in pop, so we can call people up faster, and there'll be some big name guys when they debut. They're not just going to be some 20 overall, 20 popularity people and stuff like that. I had my developmental open since the start of the save, and Brian Lee is just now getting into the 30s when it comes to pop. So I was just like, good Lord. So hopefully with the TV deal they had was in one region and small, like very small. So hopefully with a medium-sized TV deal, and pretty much everywhere in the world except for Australia and India, hopefully they can start gaining some pop and be ready to be called up to the main roster. And when they do, they'll get some ratings and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, that is all for this episode. Thank y'all for watching this episode. Thank y'all for liking. For those of y'all who like, thank y'all for leaving a comment down below. I encourage everybody to comment down below. I reply back as quickly as possible, whether it's on the Pro-Am Gaming YouTube page or my personal YouTube. I read every comment and comment back as quickly as I can. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for liking the video. If y'all are new to the channel and want to subscribe, the subscribe icon will be right here. Make sure you click that little bell icon, and it will notify you when some more TEW or other video game content that we produce on the channel will be out. If you like this episode and want to go back and catch up on the storylines and find out what's going on, the playlist will be right here. I encourage you to go back and watch previous episodes or watch some of the big pay-per-view matchups. King of the Ring is our first pay-per-view that we have got 100 overall, And I'm pretty sure it's going to be pay-per-view of the year so far. Hopefully at SummerSlam we can pull off another 100 rating. But so far, King of the Ring is our first 100 rating pay-per-view. I encourage y'all to go back and watch that one. That was an awesome pay-per-view, guys. But anyway, like I always say, guys, I am Dylan the Villain, and if you cannot play with each other, then do what I do and play with yourself. Later, guys.